All right, how's it going, everybody? Just catching up. Still waiting on Black Friday. I did come across something interesting. My friend Carl sent me, so let me find that real quick. All right, Carl sent me one that Exalted Lamb did, and remember, this is the character. He's got 22.4 thousand subscribers. He came onto my Facebook back when I had like maybe 200. And lambasted me for things I was posting because somebody literally commented on his to come see me, and he did, and he attacked me, which I thought was very weird, very strange, very insecure, very unchrist-like. And but I got some stuff out of his video that I want to share with y'all because I'm just looking for the truth. Things that he talked about. Sorry. He talked about how this goes, some of this is 2017, 2018, 2019. He talked about how the lockdown will begin in December, and that's what this means. He did connect these. I think he connected it from October to December. He talked about the DESA a lot that we talk about. He did describe that as Trump, but he thinks Obama's the Antichrist. And he says this is a solar eclipse, which it could be because the outside of a solar eclipse is called the corona, if I'm not mistaken. Let's double check that. The outside light of a solar eclipse is called the corona. The sun's corona is the outermost part of the sun's atmosphere. The corona is usually hidden by the bright light of the sun's surface. However, the corona can be viewed during a total solar eclipse. Our sun is surrounded by a jacket of gases called whatever. But yes, so I don't hate what he's selling. That could be the solar eclipse. And again, it goes dark and only she is lit, the moon goddess. The Easter lily, the Easter lily, of course, is really all of the goddesses. It's all of the feminine deities. Ishtar, so on and so forth. I don't know. Let's just stay focused and get on track because he really talked about a lot of stuff. And then he starts equating everything. Then he starts losing me on his video. I'll put his video in the comments for y'all to go through in case something that you see is, truly enlightening. But he did mention the barbed wire is lockdown or locking down or the lockdown. And I'm not sure if he's the one that told me about the right arm going limp and the 10, the Deca, December. He talked about the moon. Oh, what did he talk? He talked about these were gunshots. Then he talked about Kennedy. I can't remember it all. I was driving back home. And he was big on that being the buck moon and all that, which remember I really focused on that back at the time. But he was real big on December 14th. And I forget all the reasons why. Maybe if I go through it. Oh, that's right. He was talking about Mercury and what Hierophant actually meant. He talked about like on Obama's face. He's saying that is Mercury outside of the sun, that Mercury is coming close to the sun. See how Mercury is coming close to the sun? He says that is when the bad times will be. There you go. He says there's the sun and there's Mercury coming close to it. So let's backtrack a second. I hate looking at this, but we're going to have to. Where the planets are astrologically, astro.com. I refuse to save it as a bookmark, as y'all know. We value our privacy. Okay. So Mercury is in Scorpio. Mercury has to get close to Capricorn. Well, it's nowhere near it right now. Mercury's in Scorpio. Mercury travels faster than the sun, so it could catch up to it. That's why it goes in allegedly retrograde, which means it moves backwards, and they literally start going backwards with it, with the math. So even though when you go through the signs like Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, well, when it goes in retrograde, it can go from from Scorpio back to Libra. And that's because Mercury always has to be within 3 signs of the sun, or else it would lap it. And they never let it lap it. Because in their astrological, maybe that's because it has to, I don't know, because it has to work that way in that revolving fake world they have with that we revolve around the sun and all of that. Maybe that's why things have to appear to be moving backwards. That's what retrograde is. What does it mean for a planet to be in retrograde? I was hoping she would read it. Retrograde motion is apparent change in the movement of the planet through the sky. It is not real in that the planet does not physically start moving backwards in its orbit. So why do you even do it? It just appears to do so because of the relative positions of the planet and Earth and how they are moving around the sun. See, and we don't move around the sun. So it's a very strange satanic phenomenon. What does it mean for Mercury to be in retrograde? Mercury is always within 3 signs of the sun. Because Mercury is closest to the sun, your Mercury sign will always be in the same sign as your sun sign or the sign before it or after it. So yeah, it's just just 3 signs: before the sun, at the sun, or after the sun. I knew it was 3. It's, I quit astrology back in 2012. Thank you, Jesus. So the sun is in Sagittarius, Mercury is in Scorpio. Now, eventually, Mercury will get ahead of it. Maybe by the time it's in Capricorn, or by the time the sun's in Aquarius, like in January or February. I think 3 times a year, Mercury goes into retrograde. Mercury goes in retrograde 3 times a year.
Here's a summary from Farmer's Almanac. The swift planet becomes retrograde 3 or 4 times in a calendar year.
Because Mercury completes its orbit around the sun in only 88 days. Ooh, 88, the number for Trump. And all this is fake. It's satanic. When astrology works in your life, and I could always see it working, it's that spiritual transference is taking place. When you take on the characteristics of a Cancer or a Libra or a Taurus or all of that, that's Satanism working in your life. So you don't ever want to sit around and go like, well, I'm a Leo. You don't want to dabble in that stuff at all. So we're looking at it because if Exalted Lamb is correct, that Heliofont website, he's saying that's the sun and that's Mercury. And he explained it in detail. And when Mercury is getting close to the sun, So we'll I don't know how close it needs to be. You know, that's the point. We already see that we're at 19 degrees, you know, at 29, it tops out and then it goes to 0. Like right now, Jupiter, now there's the Jupiter Saturn conjunction. Remember, they're going to be exact on December 21st. It's going to take them that because they move slowly because they're farther away in what they call the solar system. Now, I don't know, being that we know they're just wandering stars right up above us. I don't really know if, you know, apparently the way they move in the sky, they do move slower. I don't, you know, that's about all I can tell you. And so it's only 3 degrees Sagittarius. Remember, it's 0 to 29. You go 30 degrees and then you move to the next sign. So at 19, so over the next 21 days, no, it'll be over about the next 18 days. So getting close to the 14th, the eclipse, Mercury is going to be very close to the sun. We're going to keep an eye on that. All right, let's just do that. Let's keep an eye on that. The Archer. Let's go to the Bible verse. And I saw, behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. The crown, the corona, was given. Was that symbolic because the true crown doesn't take place until he dies? Sagittarius, the Archer.
According to Wikipedia,
See the bow? See the bow? Now we know the Capricorn sun is when we have the cold full moon. Are we gonna be at a new moon? We will be at a new moon on that 14th solar eclipse, I do believe. New moon. Oh, golly. How do you search that again? You just say moon phases. Phases of the moon 2020. It's in the Farmer's Almanac, I think is the best one. Maybe it's this one. Let's do it. You got a new moon, y'all, December 14th. That's the day of the solar eclipse. It's a new moon. And, oh, that's why it's a solar eclipse, because it's a new moon. That's right. Okay. Are we right about that? A solar eclipse always takes place on a new moon.
According to space.com, a solar eclipse occurs when the moon gets between Earth and the sun, and the moon casts a shadow over Earth. A solar eclipse can only take place at the phase of new moon,
Yes.
when the moon passes directly between the sun and Earth and its shadows fall upon Earth's surface.
Okay. Blah, blah, blah. So that's a new moon. That's when they have a new beginning in the world of astrology. New things begin at a new moon. And, you know, the Jewish calendar was set to the moon. And the almanac and the Farmer's Almanac, I think it's proven scientifically, maybe, could be untrue, but it's best to plant seeds and stuff during the new moon. And, you know, in their world, though, new things begin on a new moon and then come to fruition on a full moon. What time is the new moon? What time is the solar eclipse? I don't know. I can't read all that. There it is, December 14th, new moon, 11:16 a.m. December 14th, 11:16 a.m. And then it goes full at 10:28 p.m. When, of course, the last tower fell at 10:28 a.m. We already talked about that. So anyway, that was from Exalted Lamb. And he said that they all had a spot on their face, that Bush did too. I don't know. Let's don't waste our time with that. Let's go on to some other stuff. So Dabu7 is somebody else I follow. I think he's controlled opposition. He tells you the truth a little bit, you know, kind of like Alex Jones. He tells you that all the world's a stage and everything's a conspiracy. And, you know, at 245,000 subscribers, he really doesn't tell you the truth about much, though. He downplays a lot. But he told you about this monolith. And let me look for it for a second. Sorry. All right. Thank you, Jesus. Found it in my email. I send a lot of videos to myself. I'm going to unlike it and like it and put it at the top. Y'all, this is one of the best videos I'd ever seen. This guy break down Stanley Kubrick, 2001. It's titled 2001, A Masonic Odyssey. And he breaks down what the monolith and all that's about. And he says, I don't have anything to say bad about Freemasons. I don't know it. I don't know anything about it. You know, I've never known anybody. You know, I don't know enough about it to say anything. He goes, I'm just telling you what we do know, what Freemasons tell you about Freemasonry. He goes, he went down and he broke down the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey. And I mean, he broke it down. It was one of the best I had ever seen about the lodge, about what Freemasonry is, and how it was all coded into this movie. And he talks about the monoliths, because the monolith appears, and each time the monolith appears in the movie, that's when it appears in the ape. I don't know if you've ever seen it. If you've never seen it, man, that is, I would say watch this video first, then watch the movie, and then watch this video again. I will put it in the comments. But when that monolith appears, like it appears at the very end, each time, let's start over. Each time the monolith appears in the movie, there's a big transformation that takes place. Well, folks, they just now placed a monolith out there in the desert. I think it's in Utah, Dabo7 said. So they're telling you that this world is about to go through its transformation. And don't forget, the United Nations looks like a monolith. The United Nations looks like a monolith. And then you're going to get a picture where it looks like a monolith. Theories about mysterious metal monoliths. So that's what's, and they're all acting like it's mysterious. Of course, it's like the Georgia Guidestones, put there on purpose. Everybody knows it's there. There's the United Nations. Looks exactly like the same monolith, 2001: A Space Odyssey, the whole 9 yards. Utah, the desert, there is a monolith. Come on, folks. What are they telling you? There's one from 2001: A Space Odyssey. One day ago, strange monolith discovered. When you know they've put it there. Who's they? The Illuminati. And there's the United Nations looking like a monolith. So, of course, when they built it, that's when the world started going through its change. So this thing's extraordinary. I will put it in there for you to view. Now, look at this. It's just like I Pet Goat.
Or from.
Okay. How do we get away with this? Go to the speed. Let's go super fast. Let's get rid of the sound and not get a copyright strike. What are you looking at? Well, there's your iPet goat with a baby in the, it's all about rebirth, transformation, all of that. So that's when the man is, and that's the monolith when he's about to go, reaches godhood, reaches final state. There's the baby in its birthing stage, the same thing we see in iPet goat. There's a monolith. That's the first change. And they try to tell you it's evolution when apes turned into men. Okay. And that's the first. And they started to learn, because the monolith appeared, which monolith, of course, would stand for Lucifer, who gave man knowledge. The monolith stands for knowledge. And when the apes, they started being able to use, they saw the bones and started using them as weapons, and started like getting brain power. Okay. And there's the monolith again appearing on a planet in the movie. And there it is at the very end of the movie when the man is dying and he's going through his final transformation. There's the baby. Same thing you see in the iPet goat. There's the monolith again. There's Eclipse in the movie. That's straight out of 2001: A Space Odyssey. Of course, South Carolina Gamecocks, they come out to this song. And they have a half moon. Watch this. You won't believe it. I know I got ADHD and I'm all over the place, but South Carolina Gamecock Stadium, moon, and palm tree. It's the tree goddess and the crescent moon. Gamecock and palmetto tree with moon. So it's the tree goddess. Looks like a phoenix inside the tree goddess. Does it not? See the palm tree and the crescent moon? The palm tree and the crescent moon. The tree goddess and the moon goddess are one and the same. Palmetto moon with the crescent moon. So the symbolism is everywhere. College football, doesn't matter. They run it all. They run everything. South Carolina runs out to the field on 2001: A Space Odyssey. (2001) Space Odyssey team entrance. Looks like it's something we can play. Looks like we've got it sped up really fast, right? I think we're going to have to bring it down to normal. It is at normal. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Boy, I'll get a copyright strike here. I got to be super careful. Only a few seconds. So you hear it. Boom, 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 boom. So they've got the crescent moon that we just saw at 2001: A Space Odyssey. And they play the music. Who runs this world? Who runs this world? What do they play at all football stadiums? Hell's Bells all the time. Or turned down for what? The worst, one of the nastiest videos you could ever lay your hands on. They play at stadiums nonstop. You get the idea? Hell's Bells played at football games nonstop. Every football game you hear it. Hell's Bells. You can't make it up. All the time. Turned down for what? Well, right now they're just giving you montages of it. You're just going to take my word for it. But I've heard it plenty. And if you've ever seen the Turn Down for What video, well, and I'm just going to go through it in spots, obviously, and I'm not going to play the music for it. If you've never heard the song before. Oh, it's in reverse. Original song. Football stadiums just crank this out. It is like watching Triple X video with and what does turn down for what mean? Well, they say turn up. Turned up. Whoops. Turned up. What does turned up mean? T-U-R-N-T. It means it's all about partying, reaching your limits. State of being wild. Well, the song says turn down for what? So you're either going to turn up or turn down. You turn down for the Lord. Of course, the Lord turns you down. That's your repentant state. Turn up means do as thou wilt is the whole of the law. You do what you want to do. If it feels good, do it. Drunkenness, revelry, intoxicated excitement, hip hop, dictionary, drugs, alcohol, sex at a crazy party. Well, so when they say turn down for what? This is what they play at football games. And people don't know what they're getting into. I mean, they'll love the song, they let their kids listen to it, they don't understand what the video is, what the video is saying, but they'll let their kids listen to it. And good grief, I listened to everything when I was a kid. I was listening to Pink Floyd and Grand Funk Railroad and all that when I was I don't know. So you get the idea. So to get back on track that they play at football games, 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's the eclipse. So at the eclipse, the monolith is taking place. Well, the monolith was just found in what's coming? The eclipse. The eclipse is coming on December 14th. This world's going to go through some sort of transformation at this point. I do believe. I think we all believe. Aren't we sped up here still? Speed, yeah, we're maxed out on the speed, so it's going to fly by. And he talks about that's a trapezoid we're looking at. And he gets into that, and that, and he's talking the whole time. It's an excellent video. I mean, it is one of my favorite videos. Might be, it might do me good to watch it again, but it will be in the comments. So, what else? So the monolith has been discovered. That's a big sign that they're telling us. This is all heading towards that eclipse. Now we got the lunar eclipse this week. So what if Trump goes down, but then the World War III? I always said Trump's got to go down before and then you're going to get the martial law in the United States, and Trump has said, and the other people have said, it's going to happen for, the QAnon people said, what happens here is then going to happen. In other words, QAnon people try to tell you that Trump's going to fix everything here and he's going to fix everything in the world. And Trump has said, if things get bad here in America, then it's going to get bad here first, and it's going to get that bad in the rest of the world. I've shown y'all that before. It was a long time ago, 2 or 3 months ago when he said it. I'm not going to search it. And so if Trump goes down, let's say at the end of November, and then the bad things like World War III, or the bad stuff starts happening in the United States, and then it starts going throughout the world, does it begin in earnest on the new moon at the solar eclipse? So we have to really take note on this coming full moon as far as the Trump assassination. That's for sure. So I'm going to leave the Davos 7 for us. I'm going to leave the IPEC Goat Exalted Lamb for us. I'm going to leave the Kubrick 2001 a Masonic Odyssey for us. We're going to go through comments. We're going to go through. Now, I got to tell you something. I watched Rudy. Didn't get nothing out of it. I didn't see not an 88 on the wall. Nothing. Remember, all we did was it was wild, but the same priest that was in The Exorcist, and The Exorcist showed us a lot. Now, I do have a video to show you. I am watching The Undoing. And right after watching The Exorcist, lo and behold, as I'm watching The Undoing just last night, watch this.
I tried it one time. He turned into that kid.
Talking about you try to take his cell phone away from his son once.
I tried it one time. He turned into that kid from The Exorcist. I was so scared I got it. He turned into that kid from The Exorcist. He turned into that kid from. I tried it one time. He turned into that kid from The Exorcist.
He turned into that kid from The Exorcist. Do you know what they show throughout this movie? The One World Tower. It's not a movie. I'm sorry, a series. Non-stop. Oh, that's right. These things, it takes a while for them to load. Oh, well. There's One World Tower in a scene, The Undoing. Non-stop, they show that One World Trade Center, which is as above, so below. Remember, that's the Trump rising back up. The 8th, even he is of the 8th, but is of the 7th. When the two Trumps go down, the one returns. That would be the Antichrist. That tower literally stands for the Antichrist. Donald Trump upon his return. That is Trump Tower in the background. That's where Donald Trump lives. And because that one's the Chrysler Building, one's the Empire State Building, and I viewed how close they are to each other. I Googled it, and they're very close to each other. They're very close to. Actually, I spoke that into Google and hit images, and that came up. That's Trump Tower right there. So they're showing you Trump Tower in the TV show The Undoing. As they also, and I mean on every scene in New York City, that's what they're showing. The Great Gatsby, I have 4 movies here from Netflix that I haven't even had time to look at. I started watching The Great Gatsby because I felt like Gatsby stood for something. Believe it or not, in Jewish gematria, just the word Gatsby comes to Lucifer and Satan. And then in English gematria, it comes to Lucifer. So the Great Gatsby stands for the Great Lucifer, the Great Satan. You cannot make it up. It also comes to Manly P. Hall, which is one of the biggest club members ever, has written all their books and so forth. Gatsby comes to Jesus. And in English gematria, it comes to just Lucifer. So in Jewish gematria, it comes to Satan and Lucifer. Satan and Lucifer. And in English or simple gematria, it comes to just Lucifer. Satan and Lucifer, Jewish gematria, Lucifer. So it comes to both. That is big. So no wonder. And you know what? I'm seeing people dress up like the Great Gatsby. Great Gatsby apparel coming back in 2020. Great Gatsby apparel coming back in 2020. There's an ad, comes right up. Images for Great Gatsby apparel coming back in 2020. Well, it's just saying that because I've spoke it in there. Trends to bring back from the 1920s to the 2020s. Yep. Women were able to reclaim their sexuality by wearing clothing they found to be fun. That image comes to mind that the well-dressed man in the 1920s is often Leonardo DiCaprio's Jay Gatsby. However, this excludes 40-plus Great Gatsby outfit ideas in 2020 Pinterest. 50-plus Gatsby outfit ideas. Party outfit ideas 2020. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it all over the place. So they're bringing back the Great Lucifer, the Great Satan. That's what it is in gematria. Amy Jo with a Damien Thorn. Now, I didn't speak to this but one time by reading over somebody, and she came on and told us what Michael had told us, but she gave a lot of extra items. And I told her that Damien Thorn, absolutely yes, but it also DONALD-TRUMP. Not only does Damien Thorn have the same initials as Donald Trump, the Antichrist, because Damien Thorn was the Antichrist, but it's the same exact letters in the first and last name. And she was like, I didn't even know that, but she gave us a lot of other stuff. So let's read through it, please. So it's good stuff she gave us. And again, Michael gave us some of this stuff too. Don Trump, the Abraham Accord. Yeah, it comes to Don Trump, Damien Thorn, Antichrist. This was the simple English under Damien Thorn, Antichrist. Don Trump, the Abraham Accord, and 7 seals. I also typed Damien Thorn, the Omen, and got future president, the Antichrist beast, COVID-19 plague, Wuhan 400, and the devil in disguise in simple gematria. Very good. Then I did Damien Thorn's father's name, which was Robert Thorn, and got Trump impeached. Donald Trump, spelled with the Drumpf ending in Jewish gematria, and John Kennedy Jr., Kylie, and it's QAnon's all about John Kennedy Jr. So Robert Thorn is said to be QAnon, who is the father of the Antichrist. Well, who is the father of the Antichrist? In reality, it's Fred Christ Trump, literally, middle name Christ, can't make it up. Mother's name is Mary, dad's name is Christ, Fred Christ Trump, but his spiritual daddy is Satan, which is QAnon, which I am Q. Remember that? They showed us that in I Pet Goat. It says I am Q on the wall, the letters I, M, and Q, which when you say it out loud, I am Q, I am Q, I am Q, I am Q. The ghost in the machine is QAnon. And so Robert Thorn, the father of the Antichrist, Damien Thorn, comes to John Kennedy Jr., which the QAnon people say is Q. So I hope you followed all that. That was crazy. Kylie McEnany. Oh, is that Trump's press secretary? Save the children. Am I able to copy that? No. I was going to put it in Google. Save the children, which QAnon. Stop the fraud. Space Force vote. Quid quo pro and Trump wins in simple gematria. Then I did the mother's name, Kathy Thorne, and got Clean the Swamp and the last Trump in simple gematria. Sorry, it's long. Hey, quite all right. Thank you for your hard work. And that's it. That's everything, right? And then we'll go to your comments. I know this is a long video, but hopefully not boring. By the way, Corona debunked by biochemistry. Characteristics and initiation of a ritual. I'm going to put those back down in the comments. I posted those to my Facebook tonight. This tells you the characteristics of a ritual and is exactly what we went through. You're going to be amazed at how many things we're going through, that this is nothing more than a ritual. You know, the illness. And this tells you the biochemistry behind what a real coronavirus is. It's nothing more than your body getting rid of toxins. You cannot catch it. It's your body doing it. And when somebody in your family starts to get sick and you go, oh, they got the flu, oh, I'm going to catch it. That's psychosomatic. You just start feeling weak and your body goes, it's getting weak. Let's get rid of the toxins. Because when you're strong, your body won't get rid of the toxins. When you're weak, it'll go, okay, we can push it through. We can do it. And when does your body get weak? What they call the flu season. It's when you don't get a lot of sun. The winter months, the vitamin D3 levels go down. So, yeah, folks, there ain't germs, only with a bacterial infection, which is very rare. Viral is not bacterial, and they're telling you also catch a virus. No. The word virus doesn't even, they tell you everything in this video. So this will also be in the comments, and I will type in the heading so you know what the links are, so you can specifically go to each. So comments last, and then we're done. Amy Jo giving a lot of love, and we love Amy Jo. Yeah, we sure do. Angel Marie, wow, it just keeps coming. The Trump Antichrist, The Exorcist. You know, I thought that was a good video too. I thought it was very telling. It wasn't a lot, and I'm sorry I got nothing out of Rudy, but remember Rudy Giuliani? Rudy wore number 45, and Trump is the 45th president, and Rudy was mayor when the two Trumps went down, or the Twin Towers went down, and Rudy is Trump's lawyer and will be his lawyer when he goes down again. So that's the tie-in in the movie Rudy, all about Notre Dame. And when they did this cheer, they would say, Notre Dame, pray for us, because they're saying Our Lady, pray for us. Notre Dame, Our Lady, pray for us, or whatever. It's it's the moon goddess. That's who they're praying to. They don't know it. Catholics don't know it. I was Catholic for decades. I went to a Catholic school for the first 8 years of 1st through 8th grade, not kindergarten, but the first 8 years. I mean, I was raised Catholic. That's how I got my astrology. They had a zodiac wheel at my school on a paper stapled yearbook. On the cover, it had a zodiac wheel. They do not care. The Exorcist was based off, okay, here comes Michael here with some good gematria. The Exorcist was based on a 1971 novel by Peter Blatty. According to Wikipedia, aspects of Blatty's novel were inspired by 1949 exorcism performed on an anonymous boy known as Roland Doe, or Robbie Mayhem, but no, it says Manham. Pseudonyms. Roland Doe comes to 88, or Trump. Amazing when I read that. I didn't comment, because if I comment, it will disappear from these comments here. Remember, it says at the top, I haven't responded. So sometimes I will like and give love, but I will not respond until I get to them. Robbie Manham comes to Donald Trump. This is amazing stuff, Michael. So thank you, Michael and Amy, giving us top-notch gematria stuff here. Both fictitious names come to Antichrist Donald John Trump. Now, when he says that, he says, I didn't mean to state that gematria came to the Antichrist Donald Trump. I was meaning personally the terminology both came to. So, in other words, these two are literal. Roland Doe comes to 88 or Trump. Robbie Manhan comes to Donald Drumpf. And remember, Don Drumpf comes to 666 in English gematria, I think it is. Yes. And Donald Drumpf and Mike Pence come to 666 in Jewish gematria. The odds are astronomical. And then you throw in all this other stuff that Michael just gave us. It's crazy. Jeff and Rachel Burkhalter said not only what it says in 2 Thessalonians. Okay, I think we read that yesterday. So we're caught up. Y'all, that's it. I was all over the place, but I hope you got a lot out of it. I hope there was a ton of info in there. All right, love y'all. Right now, I've started The Great Gatsby. Thinking about pulling it out and watching The French Connection. Thinking about pulling it out, watching The Dark Knight Rises to see if I can get more on an exact date. And then I'm afraid there won't be any because I've seen that movie like 5 or 6 times. And then I will have watched a 2.5-hour movie or near 3-hour movie again for little to no reason. So I don't know. We'll see. All right. Love y'all very much.